That ball you want to take? That there's a mistake.
Knock it off. Go ahead.
Yeah. And what do you know that every scout and coach on earth does not?
I know more than you.
I thought I'd better join before I got drafted.
This is the draft analysis we've all been working on for the last 2 months.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Steelers Sanctuary Draft Show. I'm your host, David Barrow from SteelersSanctuary.com. I got Bob and Trent with me today. We'll be going over linebackers this week, Daniel Jeremiah's top mock draft, and our composite big board also. So, fellas, how's it going?
Good.
Let's start with Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, and we'll go through it, see what we like, see what we don't like. I'll read off 10 at a time. Get your thoughts on him. Number 1 overall, he's got Fernando Mendoza going to the Raiders. No surprise there. Alvin Reese going to the Jets. Spencer Fano going 3 to the Cardinals. Mayanoa 4th to the Titans. Mansour Delane 5th to the Giants. David Bailey 6th, Browns. Sonny Styles 7 to the Commanders. Jeremiah Love 8 to the Saints. Chiefs get Reuben Bain, and the Bengals get Gerard McCoy. Couple interesting ones there. Spencer Fano for 1 going 3rd overall. We were talking just before we got on. He wouldn't be my top tackle right now.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean,
I know, right?
I think Mayanoa
is Arizona.
What's that?
It is Arizona, though.
I think Jeremiah Love to the Saints is interesting too, because I mean, do they need him?
Yes.
Well, whatchamacallit's kind of getting old and over the hill now.
He's not a free agent though yet, right?
No, I don't think he is.
They basically replaced him in the second half of the season last year. I mean,
he was hurt, I think, too.
Yeah, he was banged up a little bit, but I mean, I think they were done with the production. Look, Kamara's never been that productive. I mean, people like him fantasy-wise, but he doesn't run for a lot of yards. He's effective when he's in the game, and especially 2-3 years ago, he was really effective running and catching the ball. But he's always been kind of an underachiever as far as like how many yards he actually puts up. But that being said, if you play fantasy football, you love the guy because he's catching 5-6 passes. He's running for 50-60 yards. He's scoring 2-3 touchdowns. You know, he single-handedly won fantasy championships 3 or 4 years ago for people with a 40-point performance. I mean, Love, it's an interesting fit there because it takes a lot of pressure off the shot.
I just feel like at 8, and I get it. I get the player. Like, maybe this is just the way my mindset works. Running back at 8, when that team needs so much help across the board, is really interesting to me because I feel like you could do so much more for the team as a whole if you go a different direction at that pick. And it's not because of Jeremiah Love. It's not that I don't think he's obviously the best back in the draft. And he's one of the better backs that we've seen in the last, 5 drafts. So it's just a weird pick for me on a team that needs so much help.
I want this to happen because I don't want Kansas City to get him. So if the Saints scoop him up beforehand, that's good for me. I mean,
yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. One thing to remember, too, here is the Saints were coming on down the stretch. I mean, you could make an argument they were the best team in the NFC South the second half of the season. They were just so bad the first half of the season that they got out of it. And, Shook found – I mean, he's not great. I don't love him as a quarterback, but you all of a sudden put an elite running back with him and Kellen Moore, and all of a sudden that offense starts to get pretty good.
They got Olave. They've got a couple of pieces there. Yeah.
I mean, you don't need much to win the NFC South. So
McCoy 10th overall is a leap of faith for me. I mean, I get he's super talented, but that injury, I don't know, I'd be scared to take him in the top 10. But it could happen.
There's people who think that if he would have played this year, he'd be ahead of Mansour Delane pretty easily.
Yeah, I've heard
talent-wise.
Yep, for sure.
You You know what's interesting is I think David Bailey to the Browns, pairing him with Myles Garrett would be a really
Devastating.
really dangerous problem for everyone in the AFC North.
That would be. I didn't even think of that. That would be.
That they had Mason
awful.
Graham in last year's draft, who
Yeah.
got better and better as the season went on. That front four might be pretty fucking brutal.
Wow. Yeah, we don't want to see that.
Thank
You do
God
not
they have
wanna see
Shedeur
that.
Sanders at quarterback still. That's all I can say.
I think they're going to take a giant step back because of losing Schwartz. I think a lot of the scheme had a lot to do with it. I don't know that. I mean, they've got some very talented players, but I think if you get the wrong head or wrong defensive coordinator in there, it can go really bad.
Have they announced their DC yet?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I don't think they have. I don't think they have either because it's been such a shit show. And
All right,
I mean, they need so much offensive line help too. I'm surprised offensive line's not the pick right there. I mean, Maui Noah could be a guy who could have been that pick right there for them. Yep. They need. I think they need both tackles, a guard. Is it both guards?
I think both of their guards are free agents, right?
I think at least 3 or 4 of the offensive line is a free agent right now.
But I don't know. If I'm the Browns, I think I go Bailey and try to sign some.
He's best player available.
Offensive lineman and just let Bailey and Garrett just wreak havoc on everybody. That's scary.
Yeah.
Well, does Garrett demand a trade?
Well,
I mean, depending on who they get for the DC.
He's hinting at that too, right? All right, let's do 11 through 20. Caleb Downs goes 11th to the Dolphins. The Cowboys get Colton Hood at 12. Rams at 13 get Mekhi Lemon, killing the Steelers' dreams. The Ravens get the offensive guard Leone from Penn State. Tampa Bay gets Cassius Howell. The New York Jets get Carnell Tate. 17, Lions get Akeem Mesidor. Vikings at 18 get Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, who we love. Carolina Panthers get Jordan Tyson at 19, and at 20, the Cowboys get Keldrick Falk. Some interesting things going on. Vikings getting McNeil-Warren to pair with Flores and all of that stuff. That's a good pick for them.
That's a problem.
That is a problem.
Yeah, it's interesting they got Miami taking Downs because of Minka. They're both.
They think you're going to trade Minka?
Yeah, they're both versatile. They both kind of do the same things.
That'd be a hell of a duo.
Yeah,
in the back end.
You could, but I don't know that you have a real life. I mean, I always want a thumper at strong safety, and I don't see. I mean, Downs, I guess, could be your thumper initially as he's learning the position, but I don't know. I mean, Downs is really good, but if you have faith in Minka long term, which maybe Miami doesn't, then
possible.
Why take him?
Mekhi Lemon to the Rams is ridiculous. To put him on that wide receiver with Puka and whatchamacallit, that's
Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, at some point Devontae Adams has to slow down.
Yeah, but
it's
maybe not the three of them.
You would think, but here we are. He's still playing at such a high level. I mean, if he has another really good season and Puka's still playing at his level, you add Mekhi Lemon in there and he's the slot. Jesus criminy, that offense gets very, very scary, especially if Stafford keeps going the way he's been going.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bumming through here. Carnell Tate to the Jets. That's just mean. That's just mean to his career.
He gets to get paired up with Garrett Wilson.
If he runs well, I think that the Steelers have to seriously consider trying to trade there to get him.
Yeah, you probably think about it. If he's getting there, what is that? 16?
16. Yeah, that's not that far.
No. Yeah, I think you're right, Bob. I think you do. Well, then he's got Jordan Tyson going 19 to the Panthers. Do you start thinking about trading up to get him? If he's going that far down.
That would be medical dependent.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's dropping a lot because of the medicals, Bob. You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy I hate, by the way, and I don't understand the love affair. If you watch Shamar Stewart's debacle in Cincinnati, why the fuck are you in love with Cassius Howell, who was slightly more productive, but it's another Texas A&M. He looks great on paper, but he doesn't do shit in the game. I don't understand why that guy is a top 20 pick. I don't.
I've heard a lot of people are very high on him.
Everybody was high on Stewart. He's going to go to the combine. Everybody's going to be, "Ooh, look at him with his shirt off." Hey, watch the film with the pads on.
He's been really like kind of weird. It's he went from going 10 sacks in 23 to 4 sacks in 24, back up to 12 sacks this year. Yeah. He's kind of all over the place, but I mean his advanced metrics are all really, really good.
He's solid for me. It doesn't do it for me. You know, I'd rather take a risk. Go ahead.
No, we talked about this before. Again, this is a draft that just doesn't have a ton of blue chip prospects. So
yeah.
If you need an edge rusher, he's going to be high up on that list. I think there's a couple guys I might be willing to wait on though. To Bob's point, I'd rather do Kendrick Clark. I think
bet on the traits.
Like him.
You don't like him?
No.
Or at least Messidor. They got Messidor going to the Lions. That would be interesting if he pans out.
I was listening to a podcast about him. He's 25.
Yeah.
Already. So they think he might be hit his ceiling already. But I mean, if you get a pretty good pass rusher for 5 years, you'll take it, right? And run with it.
Oh, yeah.
And worry about the rest of it. All right, 21 through 30. Oh, you guys got anything else before I move on to the next group?
Good.
Okay. Denzel Boston, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not mad at that. Not mad at that at all.
Please, for the love of God.
Yeah. 22 is Lee Hunter to the Chargers. The Eagles get Avian Terrell. The Browns come back and get Caden Proctor. They get Bailey and Proctor. That's interesting. Bears get Dylan Thieneman from the Oregon safety. Buffalo gets C.J. Allen. San Francisco at 27 gets Kenyon Sadiq. The 49ers get Sadiq. Texans get Monroe Freeling at 28. The Rams again get Blake Miller at 29. Broncos get Peter Woods at 30, kind of a steal. Patriots get Caleb Lomu at 31. And Seattle Seahawks get Brandon Cisse, another big long corner that they like, at 32.
I'm assuming.
Is he big long? Am I remembering that right?
Well, I mean,
he's a good size corner.
Bigger.
Right?
He's bigger.
I don't like him.
Yeah,
I kind of do. Yeah, we were different on him.
He is a big corner who has zero production. He is all upside. I think he was top 2 or 3 corners in his class coming out, and he was high in the class to begin with. Who's never just realized his potential, and like those guys really scare me. The guys that have potential but don't realize it. That to me sounds like there's a work ethic issue. Well, you know what I mean? So like I don't like that type of guy.
He's going to the right coach though, right? McDonald does wonders with those guys.
Something's wrong in South Carolina. Something's wrong.
There is something wrong in South Carolina. Because the year before they had shitloads of talent too, and it didn't.
Yeah,
didn't pan out for them.
Think about Eamon Mori. You were saying last year, and a lot of people said last year, "Oh, he's raw. He wasn't productive." And I kept telling you, then you can't just. When you get a unicorn like that, you just got to go with it. And all of a sudden, he becomes very productive in Seattle with different coaching. I think they might be. You're also looking at, hey, if you flip out Tariq Woolen, who's going to be expensive, and you bring Cease in, and all of a sudden he becomes your second corner, maybe your third. I mean, I think that's more of a financial move than necessarily, hey, the best player move. But they could hope he develops. I mean, he's got the talent. Like Trent said, he was a highly thought of guy. But kind of South Carolina is doing kind of what Florida State has done since Bobby Bowden retired. The guys are much more productive in the pros, and they really don't develop at Florida State.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kenyon Sadiq to the 49ers is interesting.
Yeah, that is a weird one because, I mean, he's not a free agent either. And I know he might be the injury history.
Yeah, I think they might be ready to move on from him. He gets hurt a lot now.
Yeah, he
breaking
missed at least half the season, didn't he?
Yeah.
How much of the season did he miss this year?
Quite a bit, I think.
It was a lot. I know that.
I want to talk about Caden Proctor a little bit. I was listening to another podcast, and they're really concerned about his weight. The guys that have succeeded at that 380 mark, which is where he's kind of at or fluctuates to, it's a very, very small list.
He might be the most athletic lineman in the draft, even at the weight. I think if he gets to the NFL, this is his full-time job, any team is going to be putting a first-round grade on him and investing in him in the first round. They're going to make sure that that's not an issue.
You want to get him down to 360, right? You don't want to play in at 380.
He's listed at like 347, isn't he?
Yeah.
On the boards. I mean, I'm not sure that that's what he's actually at, but I would be honest with you. I think that I love Caden Proctor. I liked him coming out of high school. He was a super high recruit. Actually, Ohio State almost got him. He had a half a week of verbal commitment to Ohio State and then flipped back to Alabama. But like he's such a talented player. They've lined that dude up in the backfield and handing him the football. Like that's how much they trust him as an athlete and a player. You know what I mean? So if you have a guy that's that athletic that they trust to do different things like that, if he's your left tackle, I think you bet on the fact that you can keep the weight under control. DeJuan Jones from Ohio State previously, he was another guy who they worried about his weight. He's been fine since he's been in the NFL. He's had other issues as far as his, actual technique and things with the Browns, but the weight wasn't an issue. So like the guy, he's just the first one that comes to my mind. But like I think the weight could be kept under control with him. I wouldn't be mad if the Steelers went after him if we do like a trade down in the first round.
Yeah, so we better. Go ahead, Bob.
No, I was going to say if you get him, you definitely kick him. You got to kick Broderick inside.
Yeah. We buried the lead. Denzel Boston, Steelers. What do we think?
I love that kid.
Yeah, I kind of like him too. I wouldn't be mad at that.
I think. If Lake is at 16, I think you become a consolation prize there when you get Boston because he's technically the fourth. Honestly, if Malik Lemon is going to go 13th to the Rams, I maybe make a phone call to them too, and just say, hey, look, you don't want to give us Lemon if you're going to take him. If that was for real, what do you think about giving us Devontae? We'll toss you a second for Devontae.
Oh,
put Devontae and
third
back together.
I wouldn't go over a third. You're going to get maybe one, maybe 2 seasons out of him. I don't want to give him a second for that. But I see where you're going with it, though. I don't mind that either.
I think Denzel Boston has some of the most upside out of all the receivers in this draft. I like Lemon as the product that he is right now, but I think Denzel Boston has the higher ceiling. I think he could turn into a true superstar style receiver. I honestly think that. Like he has a little bit of Mike Evans in him.
Yeah.
Like the 6'4", Evans is 6'5". Evans is a little thicker than he is.
Because Boston's a little faster, you'd think, right?
Boston, I think, is get a little faster. He's got a little bit more route running prowess to him too than what Mike Evans does. I think Denzel Boston he's a younger guy too. He's a true junior coming out. Like I think that kid could turn into something really special. It's just going to take probably 2 or 3 years before he hits it.
Yeah, I don't. I agree with you. I think that would be.
The only problem with it, if you get a young receiver who needs 2 or 3 years, you got a 43-year-old quarterback who is not going to tolerate that. And
that's the That's what you worry about with a first-round pick with Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. It's like it's going to be like a redshirt year almost.
Well, unless the guy's ready-made.
Is there anybody in this draft really ready-made?
I think Lemon and
Tate.
Yeah, Tate and Lemon.
Maybe Tate.
And Lemon.
And I guess Lemon too. Yeah.
If Tyson's healthy, Tyson.
I'm sorry, but Aaron Rodgers is just going to have to get the fuck over it. You're not drafting your first round based on what Aaron Rodgers wants as a 43-year-old quarterback. He can go fuck himself, and you're going to throw to the targets that we give you. This is not Mike Tomlin who caters to his goddamn players.
Well,
McCarthy can't do the same thing. Like they got to choose. They got to build this team. You can't fucking worry about Aaron Rodgers.
Right, but it's not a matter of hey, Rodgers says don't go get this guy. It's if they show up in training camp and he starts running bad routes, dropping the ball, he's going to go, fuck you. I'm not throwing it to you.
Yeah, not even dropping the ball, just not running the routes, not having the timing that Rodgers wants. I could see any rookie receiver, even a guy like Carnell Tate, kind of ended up in a doghouse at one point or another. That's the way Aaron rolls, man. And I don't think when you
Yeah.
sign Aaron Rodgers, you accept that's part of the deal. And if he
Yeah.
shuts out a receiver or two, they're gonna have to just fucking live with it because that's who he is.
Well, as long as that's why a guy like Lemon, Tate, because of his experience, I think you got to be careful not to get a product like a guy like Tyson, who's so explosive. I mean, if you can put him on the field and say, okay, Aaron, maybe he's not going to be where you want on a curl route. Maybe he's not going to be here, but he's going to be there for you as a deep option. Okay, that's where I could see. You got to flash something. Even if you're going to take him in the first round, you can't take a project in the first round. The Steelers can't afford that.
I don't think he's a total project at all. That's not what I'm saying. I just think Boston has the most upside, and to realize his actual potential, I think it's going to take a couple of years. He still could play. I mean, he could be an 800-yard receiver as a rookie. Like, he's got that ability in him right now.
Oh.
But I mean, that kid could be a 1,200-yard receiver consistently if he reaches his true peak potential. That's kind of where I'm going with it, because I don't think that's why he's not right up there with Lemon and Tate and Tyson. Like, he's not there yet. Those guys you could plug and play right now as rookies, and they could each get to 1,000 yards potentially.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a couple. I'm sorry. Let me ask you guys a couple questions. If, given the depth of this wide receiver group, and it's pretty deep, I think, this year, would you take McNeil Warren over Denzel Boston if they're both there at 21? Would you take Lone, the guard from Penn State, over Denzel Boston?
Guard, I would consider. Safety, no. I mean, I love McNeil Warren.
Yeah.
Positional value, wide receiver versus safety, I think I'm still taking the receiver, especially since I think you can make an easy argument that receivers are more of a big need than safety is right now, because you have flexibility to move Ramsey and keep him as a full-time safety. So I think I would make the argument that based on where we're at right now today, I would still go with Boston just because of the need.
I think I like McNeil Warren so much I'd take him over any wide receiver. Not any wide receiver. If Lemon fell.
You said you would or wouldn't?
I think I would.
Okay.
I think McNeil Warren's going to be special. I
told you guys. Listen, earlier today I said I watched more on McNeil Warren. I think that kid's got a little Ed Reed in him. I mean, I do, honestly. I think he's got some Ed Reed in him. He is a ball hawk. He can hit. He's a sure tackler. I really like him a lot. If Caleb Downs was not in this draft, that kid is the number one safety in almost any draft.
Yep.
I think you almost have to go guard at 21 if he's there, but they've got him gone here in this draft.
Yeah, really early.
Kind of like last year with the kid who went to Dallas. People are starting to say that maybe he is the best offensive lineman in this draft, like Booker was in the last draft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I like him, and based on how well Quinion Mitchell has done, I don't hate the idea, but I just don't think there's any way they take a wide receiver in the first, unless it's one of those top three guys is available that they can get. I just don't see them doing Boston or Concepcion or any of those other guys. In the
I definitely wouldn't do. I wouldn't do Concepcion.
I wouldn't do Jordan Tyson either. And I like Jordan Tyson.
I like Tyson too. The injury thing scares me. I wouldn't. If I had a better option, I wouldn't take Tyson at 21.
It's not just the one injury with Tyson.
Yeah,
that's the problem. There's multiple injuries with him. He might be the one true, undoubted X in the entire group.
Mm-hmm.
But the injuries are the only reason he's not the clear-cut favorite number one guy. If he didn't have the injury history, this dude is. I mean, he would be the top receiver in a lot of the classes that's come out before him. He's not Malik Neighbors talent. He's below Malik Neighbors, what we saw Malik be able to do. He's not that far behind.
Somber says he'd still take Tyson even with the injuries. You know,
I would too. I would too.
Omar's-
If he's even close to us, I'd be going and getting that kid.
Omar's not afraid of injuries. He's proven that
Yeah.
time and time again. So
And they've worked so far. He's
Yeah,
gambled
so far,
on
so
Peyton
good, yeah.
Wilson. Peyton Wilson's gamble paid off. I mean,
Darnell Washington.
Darnell Washington was a big injury. Derek Harmon was a big injury concern. You had
Peyton Wilson.
Peyton
Wilson's another one. Yep. So yeah, he's not afraid.
No, he'll go get these guys.
And I
would
criticized
take
him for
Tyson.
that. And so far, everything's worked out. I mean, have any of those guys missed any time? Peyton Wilson hasn't missed much time. Darnell just finally missed a couple games this year.
Wasn't
Fautanu
related to the
missed,
same thing.
missed his
Fautanu.
rookie season. Yeah.
First
Who
team.
did?
Fautanu.
Fautanu. Yeah, I guess you could throw that one in there because he had kind of injury red flags too.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's worked
If
out.
Tyson drops to 21,
I know
you
gotta
don't
kinda
even
consider it.
you don't even consider fucking anything. You run that card to the podium,
Yeah, I
like
guess
Vaughn's
so.
saying right now in the chat. Listen,
Man,
that kid is top 5 talent
yeah, he
with
is.
an injury history. That's it. You run that fucking card up there, and you hope to God he never has another injury.
Yeah, but it was every season in college, right? He missed time.
Yeah, but they were all different injuries.
That
They weren't
stuff
all the same
translates
thing.
though. That's translate to the NFL. It's just it doesn't go away when
Sometimes-
you get.
You have the Corey Trice guys where they're never
Yeah.
going to be uninjured.
Exactly.
But you
And
have
I
some
don't
of these
think he's
other
to that
guys that
point. He's not that degree, but
Yeah.
still.
it's hard to judge based on college because they only play usually 3 years.
Yeah. I'd be scared of him. I think at 21, you probably bite the bullet and go for it. But I don't know. It depends. If you're telling me the Penn State guard's there, no, I'm
That's
not
what I
biting
mean.
the bullet. Yeah, I'm taking the guard.
All right.
It's a safe bet.
He played 9 games, 3 games, 12 games, 9 games in his 4 years in college.
Not
So
terrible.
missed at least. Well, I'm not sure about his junior year. He played 12 games. I don't know if that's a complete season. It must be, right? If he played 12.
So
So he
2
played-
years ago, I think, didn't they make the playoffs 2 years ago?
Oh, wasn't he out
Yeah,
for the playoffs?
They didn't make the playoff. No, yeah, they did.
They
did.
did.
He was
They
out.
went on
He
that
was,
run
he was
with,
out. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he missed the
Yeah,
playoffs.
Scattaboo.
Yeah, he's
And
missed
that was the
games.
difference. That
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
said if they'd had
That's right.
Tyson, they had
That's
a
right.
real chance.
Yeah.
Oh,
He got
so
hurt
that's-
in their final game before the playoff.
Yep, risky,
That's right.
risky.
I would take it. I would take that risk all day because if that kid pays off, he's your 1 and DK's your 2. So all the stuff Bob's talked about with DK Metcalf, if he becomes your number 2,
Yes.
that's a good problem
yeah.
to have.
I'm
That's
not
a
doubting
really
the
good
talent.
problem to have.
I am not doubting the talent whatsoever. If it works out, it's a home run.
I'm
What if
betting
it
on.
doesn't?
I'm betting on that talent at 21 because we talked about what did we come up with, like 9, less than 9 blue chip prospects. How many did we
Yeah.
come up with, Bob, when we did that episode? 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
It wasn't 10.
It was not 10.
Yeah.
This kid's one of them.
Yeah,
You take that guy if he falls to 21 because of medicals, and you just hope to hell that he doesn't have the injury history again.
All right.
If I could get McNeil Warren and then get a Chris Bell in the
Chris Bell
second,
and Mark Cooper.
or Omar Cooper in the second with McNeil Warren, yeah, that's tough. It's a good debate. There's both sides you can see, the argument for.
Sure.
Well,
Super
I mean, if it's me and that's the debate, if the Penn State kid's gone, I'm still going Peter Woods.
Peter Woods is
Yeah.
interesting too.
See, I'm not because Peter Woods hasn't done the production. Now, if Peter Woods, the talent's there, but if Peter Woods' production is low and you've got a guy like Tyson on the board, oh, dude, I'm taking that because you're talking about a guy who has been healthy, who's not producing, versus a guy who's not been healthy and still producing.
Yeah, Peter Woods is
thinking-
another interesting guy. The Clemson thing.
I like him.
The Clemson thing's just bananas.
It is because he and
What
TJ
happened this
Parker
year?
both should have been in the first round without question.
And Klubnik was a consensus first round pick too
Yep.
before the season started. He was right up there with all those guys, and it just I don't know what happened to that team. It's just bizarre.
Well,
It
that's a good segue into our top 40.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
This is our Steelers big board. It's weighted obviously for what the Steelers' needs are. I'll run it through the first 20 real quick. Tate, Mendoza, Makai Lemon, Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, Denzel Boston, Jordan Tyson, we just talked about, Jeremiah Love, Vega Leon, Francis Mayanoa is 10. The second 10 is Peter Woods at 11, Sonny Styles 12, Spencer Fernald 13, Ruben Bain 14, Arvel Reese 15, Concepcion is 16, Jamard McCoy 17, Kenyon Sadiq's 18, David Bailey's 19, and Colton has 20. Obviously, the edge guys fall because the Steelers don't really need an edge, and we don't expect them to draft an edge, not in the first couple rounds anyway.
Yeah, that's
Realistically, in this 20, Tyson, Boston,
maybe
Leon, Tate maybe.
Yeah,
There's no way Sonny Styles falls to. We're gonna do linebackers in a minute, but there's no way Styles falls right to 21 for sure.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, unless something really crazy happens in this draft, I think that dude's gone within the first. I can't. Where's the Cowboys pick? 16, 15, 16, somewhere in there. He's gone by that pick at the lowest.
I think he's a top 10 guy, unless he tests terribly.
Yeah, they got him going to the Commanders.
I can tell you right now, he ain't going to test terribly.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That kid is a fucking freak, man. He came to Ohio State as a safety. They just couldn't. Yep. They couldn't stop him from gaining weight. Like he packed on like almost 40 pounds, no, 30 something pounds at Ohio State. They couldn't stop him from gaining weight. That's how he's built.
And we're going to do our linebackers in a minute. Arvel Reese, we did not. We didn't do him as a line because we think he's going to be edge. I think most of the league thinks he's going to be an edge. I'd be surprised if he plays any linebacker in the NFL, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Micah Parsons deal, depending on the team.
Yeah, that's what he's been compared to a little bit.
I agree. I think he's
actually. I should take that back. He probably might play a little of everything. All right, the second 20 is Caden Proctor at 21, Caden McDonald at 22, Caleb Lomo 23, Terrell 24, CJ Allen 25, my guy Emmanuel McNeil Warren 26, Howells 27, Caleb Banks 28, Brandon Cisse 29, Christian Miller 30. On this 10. It's McNeil all day. McNeil Warren all day.
I would tell
Keith
you,
Proctor.
I don't think they can pull the trigger on it. They wouldn't have the balls to do it. But I love CJ Allen. CJ Allen is a monster. I think he's actually the best. He might. Styles is so good, but I think long term. I mean, Allen is a guy I really love. I would
We're going to talk.
We're going to get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get into why in a minute.
All right. Then we go to 31, TJ Parker, 32, Pregnon, the guard from Oregon, 33 is Kedrick Falk, edge from Auburn, Anthony Hill Jr., 34, Monroe Feeling 35, Dylan Thieneman, 36, Chris Bell, 37, Eli Stowers, 38, Akeem Messidor, 39, and Romello Height, 40. I was reading up on Eli Stowers. I guess he made the freaks list too. I guess he really he's going to test off the charts. It's going to be interesting.
Love that kid.
It's going to be interesting.
Romello Height. Is that who you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about Stowers.
Oh, Stowers. Yeah.
I guess he's going to test like a freak. So that should be interesting. Any thoughts on any of these other guys? Pregnon in the second round, maybe?
Pregnon he's kind of a raw. He's a proven yet still somewhat raw prospect because he's not been playing as long as some of the other guys. He's a guy. If he falls into the second round and we didn't take our guard in the first round, he could be somebody you look to. I know you don't trade up for guard very often, but like his talent level's worth taking a look at it. I hate Keldrick Falk. I'm sorry. I hate that dude. He has zero production,
though, right?
He is a very good run defender who cannot rush the quarterback. I don't see it with him. He's so high on everybody's boards, and I don't like the dude at all. Chris Bell, if he didn't have that injury, we'd be talking about him in a whole different light. Some guys love him. Some guys hate him. I think he is a talented guy.
I love him. If he was healthy, I would pick him at 21 and run.
Vaughn makes a good
Honestly.
point about McDonald. The one thing I will say, if I'm drafting a nose, I don't know that I want to draft a nose at 21, but if I'm drafting a nose, I love McDonald because then it solves a lot of problems on the line. You can let YA develop another year or two, and eventually he's probably a little more comfortable on the outside anyway. It's that you're not having to convert him to the nose. And eventually, if you got McDonald, YA, and Harmon as your front three, I mean, that's about as big as a 3-4 defensive line can get.
Yeah.
I
Peter
mean,
Woods. I think people look at Peter Woods' production and they think he's not as good as he is. That dude is the most talented defensive lineman in the draft, and it's not that close. And trust me, I don't take guys over my Buckeyes too often, but I'm just telling you, Peter Woods is a different animal up front. He just hasn't had. I don't know what, like you said, Dave. I don't know what the hell happened in Clemson this year, but all these guys. TJ Parker's not that high on a lot of boards, and you saw him in the Senior Bowl just absolutely destroying guys. The talent level with them was always there. It just whatever the hell they were doing in Clemson was not working.
If he's there at 21, do you take him? I guess it depends on
Peter
who else
Woods?
is there, right? Yeah.
Depending on how free agency goes and stuff. If
you take him,
I like him.
And he ends up hitting his ceiling, boy, you're cooking with gas now with this defensive line.
If you pair he and Derek Harmon up for the next 10 years, oh my God.
Yeah,
you have a ton of talent in that front.
You got to seriously think about that.
He's not an instant Cam Hayward replacement, but if Cam is going to play one more year, and it seems like he is,
that would be perfect.
Podcast, then he's rotating behind Cam Hayward and Harmon as your third guy, and then you have Benton in there now.
Yeah, don't forget about Benton too. That's a sweet defensive line.
I was going to say I would
can't play Benton on the nose. They can't.
No.
I was going to say this. I would go as far as to say Peter Woods has the strength to actually replace Benton on the nose until Cam leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the play strength. He's not huge, but he's right in that 305 range like the rest of these guys. I think he has the play strength though to actually anchor down in that spot better than Benton has done.
Benton, Woods, and Harmon would be elite, like pass rushing. 3-down lineman, 3-4. That would be crazy. I would be all in for that.
Yeah, you could, and if you have 4, you can start rotating it. Saying, okay, it's 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 6. We're gonna have Benton and Cam on the field. Hey, it's 1st and 10. We're gonna have Harmon and Woods on the field.
Yeah.
And, well, Black, if you're going to do that, if you're going to pick Peter Woods, you have got to spend the whole off season explaining to YA Black what a nose tackle does, and just say, hey, when the play starts, grab the 2 guards and the center and just wrap them up.
Bear hug,
in a bear hug, and and let everybody else do their job.
You ever see that drill where they have a defensive lineman who puts their helmet down on the pad and they just push it and they bear crawl basically the whole way? Yeah. They need to do that for about 3 straight months.
Black,
with YA Black to teach him to play with lower pad level.
You're right. Benton was awful in nose. He's not a nose. If you move him to end, I think you have something there. I think so, hopefully this Patrick Graham will realize that and change it so that we don't have to go through this again, but we'll see.
Yeah, and that's also assuming too they bring him back, because otherwise, what you don't want is for him to come back going into free agency and all of a sudden he does flash that, hey, I'm a really good 3-4 defensive end, and then it's bye and he goes somewhere else.
Yeah,
I don't know. I get Vaughn's point here. He wants a guy that consistently eats 2 linemen. I get the true nose, but you're pulling a true nose off the field 75% of the time.
You don't take
this day and age.
Yeah. You don't want to take that guy in the top 40 like we have on our big board. And that's the problem. Caden McDonald, like you could look at him as a nose, but he also could play
on the end too. Yeah.
Yeah, he could play, that defensive tackle role like what Cam Hayward does. Like he's athletic enough to do that, Whereas a guy like Caleb Banks is not that guy. He's not giving you, 80%, 70% of the snaps. He's giving you 30% of the snaps. You don't take that guy that high. Like, that's the problem. You take that guy later in the draft.
Yeah. Now, if you told me we could take Caden McDonald and then come get Jackson from Florida State, who I love, good call out for Vaughn, and we're going to switch to a 4-3 and trade TJ, I'd be all about that, because now you're going across the board with some 3 really young big guys and Cam. Matter of fact, if you go 4-3, I think you almost have to have Cam as the inside.
Yeah, he can't play. He can't play the edge in a 4-3. I don't think. He's got to be a tackle. And then you got to go out and get 2 bigger. Well, I guess I don't know.
I think TJ could play the edge in a 4-3. I really do.
TJ could.
TJ definitely could. Alex,
I don't know if
Alex
Herbig can.
Herbig, no.
Herbig, absolutely not.
And Highsmith would be kind of.
Herbig would be an off-ball
borderline
linebacker.
Yeah. Which I don't like.
But it's a deep edge draft, too. So if you
It
wanted to do it.
Well, they've already said they're not moving to a 4-3, so I mean, we don't really have to worry about that. They're sticking with the 3-4.
All right. Anything else on the big board before we go to linebackers? Let's do it.
No.
All right. Our top 3 linebackers on our board are obviously Styles, Allen, and Anthony Hill Jr.
So let's pull up the guy we're not going to get.
Yeah, this is the guy I didn't even spend any time on because I know he's not going to be there at 21. He's a freak, 6'5", 243. You see it on the screen. And they think he's going to run on a 4.5, which is just freaky.
He is disgustingly fast at that size.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, Dave.
No, yeah. You're the Ohio State guy. You take it away. You watch him more than any of us.
Dude, so this kid did not have a single missed tackle until the Miami game in the playoff.
I did read that this week.
None. And he's a safety by trade. They moved him to linebacker. Last year was his transition year to linebacker. You could tell that he was trying to learn how to process. It is a totally different position for guys, right? There's so much more you have to internalize as a linebacker than what you would do as a safety. And you could see that raw talent was there. And then this year, coming back for this year, it all clicked. Everything fucking clicked. This dude, you could run this guy against these athletic tight ends, and he's going to be just fine because he's got the length, he's got the speed, he's got the coverage skills already in place. But the thing is, what you worry about with a guy who transitions from safety to linebacker is they're not aggressive in the run game. This dude is a downhill linebacker. He hits and he reads and diagnoses plays so well, and he hits the holes before the running back can get to him. He's definitely a guy who deserves to be the first. I think there's a mile gap between he and the next guy on the list.
I watched the Indiana game, and I'm like, that's all I need to see. He's not going to the Steelers. He played so good in that game.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Well, let me ask you, riddle me this.
Okay.
You cut Patrick Queen. You sign Alec Pierce or Romeo Doubs. Do you bundle up the capital you were planning to go for quarterback and go get this guy?
As Trent was talking, that was going through my mind, and I'm like, I don't know if we should trade up for an inside linebacker again. It's just that position's not.
At least this guy's not, undersized, and you can see the production.
I think he's can't miss, honestly.
Yeah. Positional value again.
That's what I was trying to get at it.
I would trade for every fucking Buckeye in the draft. Good, but
we know
it's not. It's not realistic. If I'm looking at it realistically through the scope of a Steeler fan, I cannot trade up for a linebacker in this draft, especially because I think you're trading into the top 12 to go get him. You're giving up massive compensation to go get this dude. And now if he falls to 15, you might say, hey, I could trade, because you have to go up to 15 if I think the Cowboys pick is 16, because they're taking him at 16 if he gets there. So you're probably giving up the first of our third round picks at best. Like that might be our best scenario. You might be giving up your second.
Yeah, might have to give up that and something else.
So
our best third round, and then
I can't do that for a middle linebacker. I would love to go get Sonny Styles. I do think he's can't miss. I'm not making that trade.
If Mike Tomlin was still here and they were still running the same, I think they would be considering it because their search for that inside linebacker was never ending.
He fits
and
it.
I could see Sonny Styles just making Mike Tomlin, googly eyed and thinking he's got to go get this kid. Ohio State, which is right next door, they love that. The kid's athletic. This is the guy they've been looking for 10 years.
Yep.
This is a freak. I mean, he's a bona fide freak. I mean, I think Jeremiah Love's the best player in the draft. This guy might be number 2. Caleb Downs might be number 2. This guy also might be number 2. This is a really, really can't miss. But it is an inside linebacker.
Yeah. I don't want to do that again.
I get it, but this guy is not Devin Bush. You go up to get this guy,
no.
you're getting 10 years.
We think he's going to be, like I said, can't miss. So, all right. Who's next? TJ Allen. We're gonna have a little conversation here. Go ahead. You take it away, Bob. This is your guy.
Okay, so I understand he's not good in coverage, but I got a good coverage linebacker. I got Peyton Wilson. Okay, and debate on how good he is, but he could be the coverage linebacker. The other inside linebacker needs to be a thumper. He's 6'1", he's 235. He runs pretty fast. He's only 20 years old. He can learn the coverage part of the game. But what I love is he might be the best run defender, maybe Jacob Rodriguez, but him and Jacob Rodriguez 1-2 as run defenders. We need a run defender at linebacker who runs downhill, goes and gets the ball. I like this kid a lot. I think he instantly, with the pairing of Harmon, he turns us back into the Steelers of old, where good luck running the fucking ball if you're stupid enough to do it. Again, I couldn't justify this kid's going to go in the first round. I don't know that I can justify getting him at 21. But if somehow he fell down to 28, 32, I'd be doing what I could to get back up and get him.
I didn't watch a lot of them, but my impression watching him is that I was telling Trent before we got on, it seemed like when he hit people, the pile still moved forward. Every time I saw him make a tackle, it seemed like people were bouncing off him. And maybe it was just the select 30, 40 plays I watched, but it's just for a first-round pick, and he's not great in coverage. I don't know. Obviously, he's a talented kid. Obviously, he's going to go high in this draft. It's just not for me.
We need a linebacker who doesn't get washed out against the run. He doesn't get washed out against the run. That's the problem. Is we got coverage linebackers, speed demons who, if a guard or a center climbs, it's done. They're going to push them 28 yards downfield. I want a linebacker who actually goes and hits the hole and hits it hard every time. And as a matter of fact, I think he'll hit the hole too much. Like, this guy is going to be a problem for play action. There's going to be some open things right behind him in play action because he doesn't recognize the play action as well. But you know what? If that's the case, so be it. Let him learn on the job a little bit. Give me a run stopper right next to with upside. Look, Landon Roberts, Malik Harrison, all those guys, they don't have long-term upside. They're liabilities in coverage, and they're old. They're okay. They're good run stoppers, but give me a young kid who's a good run stopper who might actually learn how to cover.
Yeah, I think his best traits right now is he's 20 years old. So he's very
big
young.
too. That's big.
That's a big piece of this.
Yep.
He's fast enough to be a nice linebacker in the next. He's a sure tackler. I'm kind of with Dave. I don't know if he's like a big thumper, but he is a very, very sure tackler. I think my biggest hang up on him, and I'm taking the coverage out of it for a second. I don't know that he's the fastest at reading and diagnosing plays. I think he sheds blocks okay. I don't think he's like special. And I feel like if you're a first round grade, you've got to be better than he is at getting off blocks. So I would be comfortable taking this dude in the second round. I just don't see him as a first round guy in my mind, which is why I said earlier, I have a mile gap between Sonny Styles and anybody else on the list. And he's, for me, I watched C.J. Allen, and I was watching him last night. I watched him again today, and I'm just like, there's something missing with the kid, and it could be that he's 20 years old and he just hasn't really developed fully yet, and he could become that guy. I think you're taking upside with C.J. Allen more than you're drafting the player right now.
And he's a little on the small side, right? 6'1", 235 is a little.
Well,
It's not that small for this draft, though. Really,
Yeah,
honestly.
for this draft. But
I mean, we talked about this. There's maybe 3 guys over 240.
yeah,
That's it.
You're right.
And one of them is like way late in the draft.
And I'll say I agree with the diagnosing. I think he diagnoses the run really well, which is why his grade is so high, because he is a very much, okay, they're handing it off, I'm going to get it. I think where he really runs into problems is, okay, they're handing it off, I'm going to go get it. Oh, shit, the quarterback kept it. What do I do now?
Yeah, he got a 90-something run defense grade on PFF.
Yeah. And he plays in the SEC, who has good running backs, Bob, to your point. Like,
yep.
You kind of see what you're getting out of a guy like that. Because, when you play if you're in the Big Ten or if you're in the SEC and you're looking at run game defense, like either one of those, you're probably getting a pretty accurate representation. Yep. You're coming out of the Big 12 with the run defense, where they throw the ball the damn day. I don't give a shit what your score is because they don't fucking run the ball anyway.
Well, and Greg has a point. Harrison is still on the team, but I don't know that I want Malik Harrison to be my starting linebacker.
He might be one of.
I think
he might be a cut.
I do. Yeah. I agree. I think he's a cut candidate.
All right, who's next?
All right, let's go to number 3. I know this is a guy you guys like.
I do like Anthony Hill. He's kind of a freak.
Texas, not Ohio State. Misprint on the slide.
Yep, 6'5", could run into 4.5. He was fun to watch. He was fun to watch on tape. What do you guys think?
Good school to come out of. I mean, they put a lot of productive players in the NFL the last couple of years. And I look back too, some of their defense, they're kind of underachieving. Why the fuck haven't they won a national championship yet? I don't.
That's the knock on that coach, right? They've always had talent. He just hasn't won a big game.
Sark's another offensive-minded guy where he puts a lot of his effort offensively.
Yep.
So Overshone from Dallas.
This
guy in Overshone and Patrick Queen, honestly, they're all kind of one and the same. They're very, very athletic guys. They have decent size to them. Anthony Hill.
He's only 6'3" and 238, by the way. I think I accidentally copied Sonny Styles. Wishful thinking here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he reminds me, he's an athletic guy. He's another guy that I think he is maybe his run grade, I think, is a little overblown.
What do you get for run grade? Let me look.
79.7.
79.7. Yeah.
On here.
Only 3 missed tackles all season. That's pretty good.
He comes off the edge a lot.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. I noticed that when I was watching him. So it's a versatile guy that you could use in.
He's versatile, but if you're choosing him to be your middle linebacker in Pittsburgh, that scares me. Is that his best run stuff comes off of the edge, not up
if you're drafting him, you're replacing Patrick Queen, right?
I would say so.
I think if you're drafting him, you're maybe considering him replacing TJ Watt, because I think Trent's right. He might be better served to be the edge in a 3-4 than an inside linebacker in the 3-4.
It's interesting. He might could be. I don't know.
Sumber's disagreeing with us.
Don't cut Harrison.
Yeah, he's not a fan. If I can get E-Rob for about $1 million,
what are some linebackers later on that we'll get drafted?
I'm
getting into free agency now. Here,
my 4th linebacker this year, I'm calling it right now, is Carson Bruner.
Could be.
I think
he could be.
He showed enough on special teams where he can come in and be that younger version of that, and that's his game. He's good against the run. I mean, is he a veteran? Like,
he tested well, right? Overall,
yeah.
Like he ran well and everything else. So I don't know.
Everybody loves a Landon Roberts. I mean, the guy was a liability in the pass coverage when he was on the field. I mean, I get it, but we don't play the Ravens every week. And frankly, I think Derrick Henry is going to fall completely off the cliff. I think the fumbles were the first part of that this year.
Could be. That's possible.
Maybe.
We can hope anyway, right?
At some point, a 30-something-year-old running back is going to fall off.
You ever watch that dude work out in the summer though? Some of the things he does, he's a freak.
Oh, it's insane.
He's a freak. All right, who's next?
Josiah Trotter.
Now this is a guy you could is kind of like an E-Rob type thing you could get later on in the draft if you wanted a thumper.
With the height and weight is way off on that one too.
Yeah, that's off. I didn't have it's 6'2",
It's all right.
237.
Yeah. He is, if you were going to cut Malik Harrison and you don't want to pick up a veteran, this is the guy. He's probably the most downhill of the linebackers, in my opinion. I think this dude is very, very much a downhill thumping. Like when he hits, like he's not looking to absorb contact. He's delivering contact when he comes downhill, which I like about him.
Yeah. PFF has him down for 9 missed tackles, which is interesting.
So the thing I'm struck by when I watch him, he's another guy, even maybe more so than Allen. He plays fast. I mean, I don't think he'll be as fast as like his brother was, but he plays fast. But he's another guy who could really be had. And his coverage is, I mean, C.J. Allen's bad. Josiah Trotter is awful. I mean, he's really bad, which means he'll probably be covering tight ends in Pittsburgh. Well, he would have been if Mike Tomlin was still here.
Summer, this isn't exactly our rankings. We're just going over the top guys, and we're just going down the list. This isn't in order of any of our rankings. I mean, styles
on the PFF grades out there as a reference for college because I don't think any of us watched a ton of Trotter tape till after the season was over.
Right.
Yeah, this is your classic run stopper with very little. This is a 2-down guy, but the Steelers could use that. So
he does.
This could be a third round.
If you go back and watch Missouri, especially against good teams, he jumps off the screen. This kid can play, and
we know how much the Steelers love bloodlines. You know, his father and his brother's in the league right now, right? So it's this guy could be a Steeler. Just keep that in mind.
Absolutely.
In the third round, I don't know that I'd hate it.
No, I don't. Yeah, if they got 3 third-round picks. Now this is the guy I like.
This is the guy.
I think everybody loves this guy.
Let me read. He's on the freaks list, and let me read you some of the stats. He's 6'4.5", 240. Ran a 4.24 shuttle, which would have been faster than any linebacker at this year's combine. A broad jump at 10.7, which would have been the second best. 36-inch vert, 1.54 10-yard split. 24 reps on the bench at 225, maxed out at 365, and he was clocked on the GPS at 22.16 miles an hour.
Which is
freaky
ridiculous.
Freaky stuff.
Which is weird,
and he looks good on tape.
Projected to run a 4.55 40.
What? Yeah,
still pretty fast for an inside linebacker.
It is. That's a good time.
Yeah.
I will say this, of the guys in this class, I think he is the best that I've watched at shedding blocks. So I'm talking about when you have an offensive lineman climbing to the next level and engaging with you, he can shed blocks better than everybody else in this class. He's also one of the older ones. So he is 23.
Yep.
He's 24 by the time the season starts.
Take that into consideration. But so was Peyton Wilson. Okay, we were completely fine with that pick when it happened. And this dude, I think, is a true second-round grade.
Yeah,
I agree. A lot of the mocks have him headed towards the third round, bottom of the second round. I think he's right in the middle of that second-round pick. He would be a guy that if you want him, I think you have to take him right where we're sitting at. What is it, 53 is the second-round pick?
After the combine, he's going to skyrocket. Once he tests,
so
he's going to skyrocket. He's going to probably be first half of the second round after he tests.
Right now I have him fourth on my list. He's a guy I could see potentially jumping C.J. Allen. And there's one more I think could climb up in the list. I think this linebacker group, the order is going to change probably more drastically than some of the other positions.
Agreed.
This is a guy, honestly, I look at, and he reminds me a lot of Jack Campbell a couple of years ago, where similar size, similar weight. I don't think he's as polished as Jack was. I mean, Jack was
a better
first pick
athlete,
for a
though.
reason. But this guy has that kind of upside that he could turn into Jack Campbell. I like a tall middle linebacker. I really do. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like in his game. I think he's going to struggle the first half of his rookie season, but by that second half, he's going to be really good, assuming he goes to the right coach.
All right, who's next?
Deontay
Lawson. I think Sombra was mentioned him a couple. I gotta be honest, guys. I missed him on my list. So you guys
love this kid.
I got to go back and watch.
Love. I think outside of Sonny Styles and what we know right now, okay, because I'm waiting until Jacob Rodriguez goes through testing. As of right here, right this second, this is a guy I could easily see being the second best linebacker in the class. He is so smart. I think he was a 3-year captain at Alabama.
Yeah.
And he was like the permanent captain or whatever they call it down there, where he's all year round. They don't change. He's the guy. He's a green dot guy. He's a 3-down linebacker. I think he's a little better in coverage than PFF gives him credit for. He's a good run defender. He read and diagnoses everything extremely well. He's always in the right position. And if I'm taking a middle linebacker, I want the guy who is in the right fucking place at the right time every single time. This kid is as consistent as they come. I love this dude.
PFF has him down for 15 missed tackles. I like to look at missed tackles for inside linebackers. It's not always accurate. You know, it's PFF, so you got to take it sometimes with a grain of salt. But that seems kind of high. But overall, like I said, I got to go back and really dig into him.
He's a guy he's going to be in the league for 10 years. This is a green dot guy. I think he does everything good. I don't know that he does anything exceptional, which if you're getting him in the 3rd round, this is a great pick.
I was just going to ask, you think he's 2nd or 3rd round?
I personally have a 3rd round on him. I could see somebody reaching for this kid in the 2nd because I think he's going to interview off the charts. There is a ton to like about this kid. I don't know that. I mean, like I said, there's no flaw. When you watch an Alabama game, he's in the right spot. He's doing the right thing. But like Trotter pops. I don't know that Lawson pops. He just does. He's just there. He's just consistent, which there's a lot to be said for that, by the way. That's why I said I think he's a 10-year guy. I don't know that he's an all-pro linebacker, but if he's in the middle of your defense, you've probably got a pretty good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Chat's still going on about Harrison. I
know.
Well, at least like a 52, 53rd man on this roster. Yeah, I can give or take him. If they don't end up drafting a linebacker and they need somebody for depth, I'm fine with it. But if he's not around, I'm not shedding any tears for Malik Harrison.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, Chet.
I was going to say I agree with you. I don't know Lawson's going to be an all-pro caliber linebacker, but if you listen, we've not even had consistent linebacker play.
That's true. That's true.
And if I can get a guy who's consistently in the right place at the right time, I think he does a really good job of doing the matchup zone stuff. Which if Graham can, I don't know if Graham's going to do a lot of that stuff for the linebackers. I think he's good in that role. I personally have a 2nd round grade on him. Once the combine comes around, if he tests about where I think he's going to test, I think he's a 2nd round grade because he does pretty well with the sideline to sideline thing. He's not elite speed, but I think he takes great angles at the ball. Like I said, I think he fills the holes very well. There's a lot of things that I really, really like about what he does.
Just a question. Does he remind you a little bit? I mean, Ferrier did it for a long time. But don't you see a little James
That's a good comp,
in him?
I love that comp, Bob. That's a good comp.
Yeah, that's a good comp. Yeah.
Yeah. I do everything good. I just don't do anything great.
I love that.
Farrier was perfect for this defense at the time. And that could be the way you describe this guy. It sounds similar. Yeah, that's a good one.
Great comp.
And like for everything, when we go through this position, it depends on what they're going to do with Patrick Queen. Because if Patrick Queen,
I would take
Peyton
this
Wilson,
kid with Patrick Queen.
yeah,
I would.
but then
Let
I
him
would-
be a rotational piece.
And I would consider giving this one the green dot because he's been a multi-year starter at Alabama. That defense already has a lot of responsibility for the middle linebackers. He would be a plug-and-play guy with the middle linebacker green dot, and I think you could move Patrick Queen off ball and let Patrick Queen do what he does best.
I like this comp too from Somber. He's the Jeremy Bernard of linebackers. It's you see a lot of the same descriptions with Bernard at wide receiver. Just does everything right, nothing spectacular. Yeah,
I will say this too: Alabama linebackers, from a pedigree standpoint, and I love the pedigrees. It's not LSU wide receiver type pedigree, but Alabama linebackers usually do pretty good in the pros.
So you play him with Queen. I'm sorry, Bob. I didn't mean to
go ahead.
cut you off. You play him with Queen, so Peyton Wilson's
he's a rotational
guy now.
Yep, yeah. And I'm fine with that because I think this kid's that consistent that I would pair him with Queen. And again, even as a rookie, if he comes into camp and he starts really picking up on things quickly, which I think this kid is extremely intelligent, I'm giving this kid the green dot. We talked about would you give the guy the green dot in the episode on Thursday. This is one, and maybe one of the very, very few in the draft. There's probably 2 or 3. He's one I would give the green dot to right away. And then Patrick Queen moves to the off ball and does what Patrick Queen does maybe better than a lot of linebackers in the NFL because he gets to run free and not have to worry about alignments and shit and just go.
Yeah.
Like see ball, get ball. Like Patrick Queen's good at that. That's the problem with Pittsburgh. He's not been that guy here.
Yeah. If you draft a linebacker that actually makes Patrick Queen better and does his job, then that's a home run, right?
Then that's
a home run.
Yeah.
All right. Who's next? Oh, God.
I was going to say you rotate. Give Wilson the other green dot. So since they can't be on the field at the same time, and passing downs, you've got Wilson and Queen, and in running downs, you've got Lawson and Queen.
I like this one. Did you see this?
I just tried to put it on too.
and wearing 0, maybe Queen thinks it's wrong.
It is possible. All kinds of upside there.
Very good. Jacob
good
Rodriguez. Now, you cannot watch this guy and not fall in love with him. You just can't.
Love this guy.
Trent was talking about it when we were talking. He's got that punch-out thing down pat. I think it's 7 forced fumbles this year. He's around the ball all the time.
9.
Was it 9?
9 forced fumbles.
I mean,
and he took I forget who it was. I forget which game it was. He hit a running back. Oklahoma State. He hits a running back in the hole, and then like you just see this sea of humanity, and then Jacob Rodriguez ends up running down the field by himself for a touchdown.
Yep, I saw that.
He literally just hits the guy, grabs the ball, and takes off running down the field. Like this kid is a turnover machine. He is the smartest player in the draft at the linebacker position.
I saw him do it to a quarterback that was running out of bounds. Just for the shits and giggles, he punched the ball out just before the kid stepped out of bounds. I can't remember what team it was, but yeah, he's got it down to a science, which is that's something valuable as a linebacker. You can create fumbles. That's huge.
I'll give you a hot take. If this kid could run a 4.5 40, he'd go before Sonny Styles.
Oh, I don't know about that. But if he runs a 4.5 40, he's a first rounder, I think, right? Or
easily.
Yeah,
he's got great hands too for a linebacker. He's got great hands. He's had a couple one-handed interceptions.
There's nothing this kid doesn't do good except for run fast. I mean, and even then, think about it. If you're a projected 4.7 guy and your coverage grade is 92.7, you know how smart you have to be in the right place and playing that slow.
To Trent's point, that's a Big 12 where they're throwing the ball all the time.
Yeah.
So if he's got a 90 grade in pass in that conference, I saw one play where I forget the team, but they were trying to do some misdirection stuff with their linemen and pulling them opposite way where the play was going to run, and he didn't fall for it at all. He stood his ground, made a tackle in the backfield. This kid's special as far as his diagnosing and that kind of stuff. It's just crazy.
If you're going to cut Queen, honestly, I'd rather have him than Lawson and they're both older. I mean, this is another guy who will be 24 before the season goes. There is no holes in his game. If he can run just a little faster than he's projected, his football speed's good.
Yeah, he is a quarterback convert because I think I saw a couple of Wildcat snaps for him.
That's who you were asking about.
Yeah. So
I love Jacob Rodriguez, and if he tests anywhere near decent, whew,
yeah,
this is my favorite outside of Sonny Styles. He's my favorite prospect in the class, pretty easily.
Yeah, I think same for me. Him and Golday are pretty close, but
I would take if he tests decent. The only reason I have my rankings where they are is because I think he's going to test pretty shitty. If this kid tests decent, I'm changing my board completely because this kid shoots up to 2 instantly, and I'm not projecting anything with him. You know what you've got with him. You see it on tape. You see the turnovers. You see the intelligence. You know that this kid's a green dot guy. This is one of the other ones that I say is the smartest guy. You give this one the green dot as a rookie, and you don't even look back because he's going to be the same guy for 10 years. He is he's probably a guy who he could go later in a draft and you talk about, years from now being a potential Hall of Fame player just because he's that smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he's there in the 3rd round, you scoop him up. No questions asked.
I got to be honest. If he's there in the 2nd round, I'm really thinking about it. I'm really thinking about it. Depending on the testing.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd have to see it.
I mean, if he tests bad, he'll probably be there in the 3rd. But I'm not waiting long to get him. I'm packaging 3rds to go get him if I have to.
All right, who's next?
This is Trent's boy, Harold Perkins.
All right, Trent, give us your thing on Harold Perkins.
Harold Perkins is another guy. He's an athletic freak. There's a guy you can move around a little bit. I think he's going to be a bit of a tweener at the next level because he is a guy you could really utilize in the pass rush. I think he's got a nice package of pass rush moves. He's a late round guy in this draft. He's very light. I mean, 222. That's kind of his max play weight too. He's very, very slender. So he's going to be a guy who I don't think as a Steeler prospect he's going to be much. Because of our edge guys, but he really could be a 3-4 end or a guy you line up in the 4-3 as like a Jerome Baker type, like what he was for the Dolphins in his earlier part of his career, where you just utilize his speed because this kid does have plenty of speed to go around. I'm surprised his coverage grade is as bad as it is, especially for his age, but I think he had a couple of injuries too earlier in his career. But he's just, if you're looking at a late round guy and you want a guy with just pure speed who can maybe potentially make some plays, like he's an interesting prospect.
If you're patient and take this kid and move him to edge, I think that's where you get the most out of this guy. Kind of like he doesn't have the talent of a Micah Parsons who could initially go in the middle and he was so good off the edge. They're like, oh, fuck that. We got to make him an edge. But I think if you take this kid with the idea of, hey, he's got in the 5th, 6th round, and he can help you at inside linebacker in a pinch, but we're going to teach him how to play edge in a year or 2. This is a guy who 3 years from now we could be going, how did this guy go in the 5th round?
Yeah. All right. What do we got up next?
Oh, Rodriguez. Sorry, one thing. Rodriguez. I kept trying to think of the comp that I had for him. Zach Thomas.
Oh, that's a good comp. That's a good comp.
A bigger, stronger version of Zach Thomas.
He reminds me of Zach Thomas. I was like I couldn't think of who I had earlier, but he reminds me a lot of Zach Thomas. Anyway, sorry.
Taurine York is next. He's really small, 5'10", 227. I thought he was faster than 4.58. Maybe he's not.
Well, we don't know. I mean, it's all a guess at this point.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. That is true. No, I don't think this guy's a Steeler. I don't.
I can't do another under 6 foot linebacker. I can't. I can't. I don't care that Devin Bush turned into a one season in his career year, a borderline Pro Bowler. I can't do. I do not like anything about his game on tape. And honestly, all I needed to watch was 5'10", because he's going to come in at 5'8", and I do not want
Well, yeah, if he's 5'8", then that's a non-starter. But if he's 5'10", I don't know. Just not. I don't think he's a fit for us. All right, who do we got next?
I think
Yeah,
Tor.
except-
So real quick,
if you want, I'm
Tori.
sorry, I didn't give you a chance to go York. Go ahead. I'm
Real
sorry,
quick
Trent.
with Tori and York. You can tell he's 5'10" because he has a fucking horrible time trying to read and diagnose plays because he can't see over the guys in front of him. He cannot see it. I think he's got instincts, but he sees everything late. He makes plays late, and sometimes he gets washed out because of the size and because he doesn't see it in time. If you're going to be this small, you really have to be able to diagnose plays at an extremely quick pace to be effective, and he just can't.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a guy who comes into the league and he's a great special teams player.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good point. From one extreme to the other. This is Eric Gentry. I forgot to put his name on here. And they screwed up the slide. Okay, he's 6'6", and he weighs 220 pounds.
Wow.
6'6", 225 is what he's listed at on here.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with him at all. This is your sleeper guy, Bob?
no, that's Corin's sleeper
Dave.
guy.
Oh,
Dave's
sleeper. All right.
He's the guy that we talked about on the Patrick Queen episode that he looks like a toothpick. And if he meets Derrick Henry in the hole, he's going to get broken like a toothpick.
So he's not a Steeler then.
He's probably not a Steeler, but the intriguing side of him is that if you look at it, the projected 40 time at 4.52, if you're going to get this guy really late, so Somber, same thing. He is going in that range, 6th, 7th round, more than likely, because of the weight. Then you're getting a guy who, again, he could be another really, good special teams guy at worst, but at best, at his height and his speed, if you're literally just using this guy as a coverage linebacker, he matches up really well with a lot of tight ends and probably could run with some of these receivers who are slot receivers if you want to get creative in your coverages. So I don't know that I hate the prospect that much. If you're moving on from Patrick Queen. Now, so this kind of ties into our Patrick Queen episode. Like if you end up moving on from Queen, you add a thumper to the group to go along with Peyton Wilson, and then you need maybe 2 linebackers in this room, depending on what you do with Malik Harrison. He becomes an intriguing prospect.
Yeah. I'm sure he has long arms too at 6'6", right? So that's kind of a good guy to have in the middle of the.
Oh, dude, he's lanky as hell.
Yeah.
This picture makes him look like he's fucking massive compared to what he actually looks like.
I'm looking at the picture saying this doesn't look that skinny, but
no, he's tiny.
He needs to spend like the first month of his Steelers career at Mike McCarthy's house, because this kid needs to be playing at 250. Yeah, he needs to be playing at 250.
Yeah.
Now this is an interesting guy. Another smaller
This is a guy I like.
He was on Bruce Feldman's freak list too. I didn't cut and paste the blur, but also a very good athlete.
I'm worried about this 224. I'm not buying it. I think they said at the Senior Bowl he was like 205, 206.
No, I said that too, Bob. I thought that too. And then remember Somber said that the official weight came in at 224.
Oh, maybe that's why they have it there. Yeah,
because I said the exact same thing. I said because I thought he was going to move to safety because I thought he was only 205 pounds, same as what you just said. But then Somber said he pulled the actual official weights from the Senior Bowl, and he did come in at 224.
Interesting.
He's another guy who pops on tape when you watch him, and he had a good Senior Bowl. He just seems to make plays, and there's a lot to be said for that. He's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, probably not the fastest, but he's a guy who, like, if he was your third linebacker, he could potentially turn into a solid guy. Like, if you told me Rodriguez and Lewis were going to be our linebackers for the next 5-6 years, and I like Peyton Wilson, but I think we'd be upgrading.
Yeah. He's got 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble.
Yeah, they use him in pass rush situations, but he unlike some of the other guys we've talked about, he comes up the middle more than off the edge. So like Hill that we talked about earlier, he comes off the edge a lot. this dude is straight up the middle the majority of the time. And his coverage skills, that's why I actually, when I first started looking into him, when I thought the weight was 205, I'm like, this dude could fairly easily transition to safety because he looks so fluid in coverage. Like, he does not look like a linebacker in coverage. He's a pretty fluid guy in coverage. So
he could end up at safety still.
And we talk about guys who, like, the Senior Bowl does not matter. Well, this dude, it mattered because he shot way up the boards after that Senior Bowl production.
Mm-hmm.
All right, who do you got next?
Dave's guy.
Bryce Boucher. He's a thumper. He's not going to be anything special, but for a sleeper, what caught my attention is him and Thieneman at Oregon, the Caucasian collision unit. They've even got T-shirts and the whole 9 yards. I'm like, my man.
This guy sounds like a giant with dart and scataboo.
He's a special teams guy, maybe a thumper linebacker for you.
Wasn't he a walk-on originally? He was a walk-on.
I believe he was,
yes. Too, and like kind of fought his way into, and one of those guys that like took a year or so, and he got a scholarship to go there after a year or two or something like that.
The tape I watched, he looked good. He looked solid as a tackler. He looks pretty good. I mean, you could do worse in the later rounds for sure.
I think if you're going to go linebacker, and you're only going to go linebacker if you're definitively cutting Queen on day one or day two, even in the fourth. I mean, I think if you're going Rodriguez in the third, or maybe you get really lucky and he gets to the fourth. I mean, a guy like this is kind of a luxury pick. And same thing with Lewis. I mean, you're getting to the point where, although I do think if you took Lewis in the 5th, 6th round, you could maybe potentially see him getting into the rotation as the linebacker. A special teams guy. I mean, we do have so many picks. Yeah, I mean, maybe with the 2nd, 6th rounder.
I can, maybe 5th, 6th round. Yeah, I guess so.
All right, you know what?
Okay.
This kid, you know what the best way to describe him? A football player.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he is. He comes off like a football player. He's a kid who you could obviously tell just eats, breathes, sleeps football. He may not have all the athletic traits that some of the other guys on the list have that we talked about. But man,
there's something to be said for that.
He shows up. He shows up and he plays well. So
you load the back half of your roster with guys like this.
Yes, for sure.
Well, so the thing I'm thinking of, the reason why I'm not so high on him, and I'd only really be high on Lewis if we don't move on from Patrick Queen. This is a guy we can let develop for a year and help us immediately special teams wise. And if anybody gets hurt, I think he can come in and make plays. Guy like this, I'm thinking probably goes in the 5th round, but I keep getting Lance in the 5th round in mocks. And if it's Lance, the wide receiver with upside versus the linebacker who's got special teams, maybe the thumper upside, I got to go Lance. That's why in the 6th, I think, that becomes more of a no-brainer with this kid. But I think you're right. I think people will look at it and see football player, and he might slide into the late 5th.
I think Carson Brunner have a lot of similarities to their games too, I think.
All right, who's next? Is that the last one?
That's it.
Excellent. I think we covered that pretty good. It's a deeper class than I thought. I think there's a lot more guys I like than I thought I was going to when I first dug into this. So
it's a pretty versatile class too. Like, it's not you could easily see, if depending on the moves the Steelers make, there's different directions they could go with this thing. If you cut a guy like Patrick Queen, you could find a replacement for him earlier in the draft with some of the guys that we've talked about in here. If you cut a guy like Malik Harrison, you could fill a guy like him pretty easily. You know, Jeremiah Trotter would be a great fit for him to replace him. So there's a lot of ways you could probably go in this draft to fill that middle linebacker room if you, depending on how they approach free agency.
Yeah.
Did Malik Harrison play special teams?
He does play special teams.
Yeah.
There's a guy out of Utah. I haven't watched his tape yet that I've heard good things about. Landon Barton.
I looked him up.
Either.
I watched a little bit of him. It's hard to find anything on him. Like for a highlight package, you gotta have to go through the games to watch him. But he's supposed to be pretty. Yeah,
He's supposed to be fast. He's supposed to be really fast. So if he shows up at the combine 6'5", 230, and runs like a sub 4.5, he's a guy who could be one of those freak jumps where it's like, oh, he's big and fast. And let's face it, Utah's a Power 5 school. He's played good competition.
Vaughn's daydreaming about wide receiver groups here. Tyson Lance combo would feed families.
Tyson Lance DK, that would
be something.
Well, if you do that, then if you're going to double up at wide receiver in the draft, then are you really a player in free agency?
I would say no.
I still think you can be. Honestly,
really?
I think you can.
This room needs
you need 4 guys to fill this room out, really, because you've got 2 that are for sure locks on the roster, right? You've got DK Metcalf and you've got Ben Skoranek.
Yeah.
Roman Wilson. Yes. Roman Wilson's your wild card.
Yeah.
If Aaron comes back, we already know Aaron hates him. McCarthy's never worked with him before. He's a true wild card. He could be a trade candidate. He could be a cut candidate. He could be a fucking starter. We have no clue where this kid's going to end up this year, right? You could need 4 total receivers in this class.
That's a good point, actually.
If he's gone.
I saw something floated on X that they could get Calvin Austin potentially for 2 years and $6 million.
I'm done with Calvin Austin. Let him go.
In theory, yes, I'm done with him too. But if Calvin Austin is my 2-year, $6 million wild card and I wave bye-bye to Roman Wilson,
I'd rather see what Roman Wilson can do for you. Yeah, I think I know.
At least, at least Austin can run back punts.
Yeah, he's not even that good at that.
All right.
No,
Tyrone's trying to take us down to a whole different path.
What? We're long on this. We could spend a couple minutes. I don't know what the national media is doing, trading Herbig for,
for nothing,
a bag of footballs, everything. Tanner McKee. He's supposed to be a decent quarterback prospect, but really?
You better be giving me a first-round pick back with that.
And then somebody else had us trade him to Dallas for somebody, right? Who the hell was it?
I did see that too. I can't remember who Dallas was giving us back.
I think it was to trade up in the draft or something crazy. Yeah, it was a trade up.
For 16.
Yeah.
Okay,
what are we doing here?
Well, if we're trading up for 16, depending on who we're getting.
Yeah, but you're not trading Herbig to move up 5 spots. No way.
You would have to.
And I'm not the Herbig guy in this group. You guys are.
No, this was a straight up trade between we give them 21 and Herbig, and they give us 16.
Oh no. Herbig for 16, I'm good with. Not Herbig and 21.
16th overall, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, they want to just move up. Yeah, that was the throw in to move up.
It was a throw in to move up 5 picks, and I'm like, fuck that, dude. You guys.
And even Tanner McKee, what has he done? How do we know?
He can hand out the water with the best of them. Come on now.
I know he's 6'6", right? He's supposed to be really tall.
He is. A lot of people in Philly like him. I think half of the team would be okay with the fact that he's the starter over Hurts.
That's what I brought up to you guys, I think, right in the chat. I think they'd be more likely to shop Hurts and keep McKee. Yeah. And then you keep A.J. Brown, because if you trade Hurts, then A.J. Brown's probably happier.
I think they're done with A.J. Brown. I think they're done with both of them, to be honest with you. But I think it's going to be easier to move off A.J. Brown than it is Hurts.
Would you do Herbig for A.J. Brown?
No. I'm going to be in the minority on this, I feel like. At least of the fan base.
I'm not a huge A.J. Brown fan because of the shit he's been pulling lately. He's a very good wide receiver.
Trent thinks he's done. I don't think he's done. I think he's beyond I don't give a shit in Philly.
How old is he? Almost 30? Or is he 30?
Same age as DK. They went to college together. He might be a year or two older, though.
I would think about that one. That's tough. That's the guy that Aaron would throw the ball to.
Oh,
so we wouldn't have to worry about that.
He's your unquestioned number one if that happens.
Yeah. If he's still...
I doubt it.
I mean,
Listen. I think AJ Brown is cooked. Personally, listen, AJ Brown. If you look at it, if you look at his separation,
he's only 28.
He's only 28.
If you look at his separation rate over the last 3 years, he has
dropped brought that up.
almost an entire yard over 3 seasons. That's not just Jalen Hurts. I'm sorry, that is you not being able to separate from the guy.
Is that effort?
I think it's effort.
Is he dogging it a little bit because he doesn't like Jalen Hurts and he's unhappy? That's possible. Which worries you just as much almost.
If you're dogging it that bad and then bitching about not getting the ball, then it's your own fucking fault, and I don't want you on my team anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
I'm sorry,
concerning too.
But we're right back to the George Pickens stuff where we bitched about him not running routes.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Let's go easy on my guy.
I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're right back to square one, and you should have kept Pickens if that's going to be the argument.
In AJ Brown's defense, it took him 18 months to give up on it. A season and a half where he was like, "Fuck it, this guy's an
I knew where
idiot.
this
He's
was
not going to throw me the ball."
Does McCarthy being the coach open up the door to bring George Pickens back?
No.
Does it open it up a crack?
No.
I mean, I don't think they're going to spend that kind of money on a receiver in free agency.
Listen, if George Pickens shows back up here, he's probably going to be strangled out by Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, Alex.
They didn't do a lot of this here.
They all hated him. If you listen,
they all hated him, but they never said anything to him.
All hated him.
Maybe if they said something to him, he wouldn't have been so bad.
They're going to destroy.
Cam Hayward doesn't have the stones to do it. He's
the one who used to pick all the fights in the training camps, though.
I know it's a dream that's dead. I understand. You guys don't. I know he's not.
I tell you what. I loved it when it happened when Pickens posed over Porter that rookie year when he made that spectacular catch in training camp. You know who wouldn't have tolerated that and who would have came over and choked him out is Jalen Ramsey, which is another reason why
that's the one guy.
Jalen Ramsey would have came over and beat the crap out of the rookie
because they all closed their eyes like it wasn't happening when he was here. No one said anything. Somebody should have stepped up and been a leader for this kid, and nobody did in this team. Not even the coach.
Nobody's doing it in Dallas either. There's nobody in the. I mean, I always go by, I always take a bully with a grain of salt, but he always says the only guy who can ever reach George Pickens is George Pickens. There's nobody you can bring in ever who's going to go to him and get him to do anything that he doesn't want to do.
If there was a veteran quarterback here, his rookie season, I think it might have been different.
Dak's a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, it's kind of too late now. GP is who he is now.
He's cutting routes even in Dallas when he's second in the league now. He finished second, right?
Second in receiving yards, right?
So
you got to live
at that
with
point.
it,
like if you can't live with a guy getting you the ball to where you're second in the league, and you're still slacking on routes, it's just who you are.
Yeah.
He's never gonna play for a contender because no contender is going to deal with
that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Since we're talking Dallas trades, do you take Herbig in 21 and trade for CeeDee Lamb?
They wouldn't trade CeeDee Lamb. I would be shocked if they traded CeeDee Lamb. I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat, but I don't think they would do it.
I'd take CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb.
No, I mean, that's not even an argument, but
top 5 receiver in this league, and without not without all the bullshit, but because he's got a little. He's
what do you give up to go get him?
Too. He was right there with GP getting suspended when they both got in trouble. Got benched for that half, right? They were both fucking off. So CeeDee Lamb's got a little bit of it in him too, just not as bad as GP.
Yeah, but he keeps it under wraps.
Yeah, for the most
part.
He does.
Yeah, I think his stuff's minor. His stuff is typical today's age wide receiver shit. It's not like, it's a Hail Mary and I'm going to fucking fight with this guy in the end zone and not even attempt to catch the ball stuff. It's not DK. I'm seeing in the chat. It's not DK punching a fan in the fucking stand. It's like his stuff is definitely like more into today's age of how, drama goes at wide receiver.
I don't think I've ever heard a bad thing about him on the field. All this stuff has been extraneous off the field.
Yeah.
And not crazy.
I would say,
the field.
I don't know, what would you say? 75% of the wide receivers that are any good have some issue with them being diva-ish.
They're all divas.
On one way or another. There's very few.
Justin Jefferson is.
Even he's got a little bit of it in him. Even Justin Jefferson does.
He played with the fucking McCarthy this year.
Well,
That's
what
not diva.
did
That's
GP play with his first 2 years? It's the same thing.
he played with Dak Prescott this year and still bitched.
Well, he grew up with Kenny Pickett and Russell Wilson and Justin Fields throwing him the ball. I could argue it was worse under Kenny Pickett and Matt Canada.
Yeah, but in fairness, Justin Jefferson went from I'm the best, if not the best, 1A, 1B wide receiver in the league to
all right,
to JJ McCarthy.
Somber makes a great point here.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Here we go with the
Ibuka
Ohio State guy.
isn't a diva. You know why Ohio State receivers aren't divas? Because if you're a diva, you get thrown the fuck out of the university, so they don't have a chance to be divas until they get.
I don't know if they get thrown out of the university, but you're right.
Dude,
they haven't had a lot of divas on that.
I'm sorry. Did you see Jameson Williams? He didn't fucking finish at Ohio State.
Yeah.
He threw a fit. I'm not playing enough. Well, go to fucking Alabama and you can play all you want, buddy. We're gonna go ahead and win.
All right, guys, we're almost 2 hours on a linebacker show. Let's wrap this one up. You guys in the chat were great as always. Thanks a bunch. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, thanks for listening to Steel Sanctuary Podcast.
And just like that, I left everything. See ya!